let's talk Cricut for a couple of minutes here. Have you ever done a print then cut? If not, I'm going to show you how to do it. Now, the other thing we need to do is make sure that our machine is calibrated. I was just doing these little stickers here that are going to be on some folders that I'm making for my stickers, my die cuts, and all that that are right there. Anyway, what you can see here is when I got to the bottom of the sticker paper, it started being off. I was losing the top of letters. So that meant that my machine was not calibrated properly. So I'm going to show you what we're doing right now. I'm in the process of calibrating my machine, and that will then give us cuts that will be precise exactly the way that I've created them on Design Space. So come on with me, we're going to have some fun. As I was cutting all of these, they all came out fine. As soon as I got to the bottom here is when all of a sudden everything seemed to be off a little bit. So we're going to recalibrate our Cricut Maker 3. Okay, so here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to have to hold this because I wasn't able to get a good angle on this. I'm going to go back to basically my home page, okay? I'm going to go up to the dots at the top, and I'm going to go down to settings, and I'm going to do print and cut settings. Come on. And then it's going to make sure that I am on my Cricut Maker 3, which I've already chosen because that's the machine I'm working on today. We're going to use an 8.5 by 11 piece of just regular printer paper. We're going to calibrate the machine. So it is telling me it wants me to print a piece of paper. Now, you have to have your printer hooked up to your Design Space in order to do print and cut anyway. So if you have not done that, you'll have to do that anyway. And that's pretty easy. It's basically doing it the same way that you would just on your iPad or on your computer or on your iPhone or whatever. So I'm going to send a piece of paper that is going to be my calibration page to my printer. I can hear it printing now, so I'm going to just hit next, and it's going to tell me to put that paper up in the top left corner right here of my mat. Grab my paper. And I'm going to attempt to put this down. I'm just doing my top left corner here. I'm going to put this into the machine. I'm going to hit next. I'm going to load it. Now, it needs to make sure that the Cricut is connected by Bluetooth, or if you got it by USB. So I already was, so no big deal. So now it's telling me to go ahead and press the go button, and it is going to start scanning. It is going to start looking at these lines here, the outside lines, so it knows where to cut. And see that little line come on? It's looking for the lines to cut. See that little light come on? Now, once it has detected all of those lines around, it is now going to make sure that I've got the correct blade in. Now it is going to cut out that little center square. Now it's asking me if by any chance those cut lines are within that black square there. Do you see that? Or are they off? They're hard to see here in the picture, but they are on the money. Okay, so I'm gonna say yes, it is, and I'm gonna go to the next page, which is gonna be what they call the fine calibration. It is doing little cut lines all along the top there, and then it's gonna do little cut lines all across the side. Then it's gonna ask me which ones on the top and which one on the side are the closest to being centered and cut directly on that line. And this really only takes a couple of minutes to do. Now, I calibrated my machine 3 times before I felt like I got it right on the money. So don't be afraid to do it a couple of times if it doesn't seem exactly right to you. And one more. Okay. Now it's asking me to find the line on the top and the line on the side that most looks like this. So I'm going to look across here, and it looks like number 11. I know this is very hard for you to see there. See here, these are all more to the left, and these are more to the right. So I'm going to pick number 11. And now I'm going to hit the right side, and I'm going to go down and look. Wow, looks like K. So now I'm going to hit next, and it's going to cut this big square. And now it's going to ask me, does it look like it's on the money? It is so on the money, I can't see it. So here's another way to check it. I'm going to peel up my paper a little bit. Just enough that I can see it. And look at that. You see just a little bit of that black all the way around. Awesome. I'm satisfied with my cut. Yes. Next, it's going to have me just take it out. There. We've calibrated our machine now. I'm going to go ahead and do a print and cut for you. I'm not going to go through how to make it. What I am going to show you is how to print it and cut it. So we have our print and cut ready to go. The first thing that we need to do is print it. I have put white sticker paper into my printer. So now we're going to print it. And I want to make this really good quality print. And I'm going to call it labels because that's pretty much what it is. Now it's going to print. Sometimes it takes a couple of seconds here. Okay, I can hear it. Once that gets done, I will put that on my mat and we'll get it cut out. And since we've calibrated it, all of those stickers should turn out perfect. And here it comes. Oh, those look really nice. Okay, so now I'm going to get this onto my mat. Sorry for all the jiggling here. There we go. Line it up to the left. So now we are ready to go. My sticker paper is on my mat and I am ready to go. It's asking me what my material is. So I had chosen printable sticker paper. And now I'm going to load the machine. It's detecting my blade and detecting the material to make sure that I have the length of what I need to cut, and it's ready to go. So the goal is to make sure that each one of these cuts out the way that it's supposed to from top to bottom. it's going to detect my cut lines again. Okay, it's ready to cut. I'm crossing my fingers that it is going to turn out right. It should. We've calibrated it, and that works really nicely. Let's see what we've got. There's all my cut lines, and they all look great. Perfect. Okay, I hope this is something that helps you with your print and cut. I'm going to show you how I made my file dividers, okay? Now, I did have some, let me grab a couple. I had some that I made a long time ago. They were out of scrapbook paper. They're cute and all, but they just don't stand up, okay? So I have got a bunch of old file folders, and what I did was cut them in half, and then I was able to put those into the Cricut and cut out my design. Now I measured my containers, and so I made it just a little bit narrower so they'd slide in there nicely. And then I made them tall enough that they were a little taller than my little container here that's holding my dies. So this one here, these are for my stickers. I do need to cut out the ones for these right now. So I did want a label that was higher than this, and this is just way too small to label, so it's just going to be a nice container for me to hold the die. So I am going to cut file folder that's probably about that much taller, of course that wide. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut my file folder apart. And I'm just using my X-Acto knife, and I am working on my self-healing mat. So now I have 2 pieces in order to work with. So I'm going to go through and do a bunch of these. And now I'm going to cut these. So I've brought all my file folder pieces over, and I'm going to show you this. This is the file folder that I created for those envelopes. Now I'm going to use a medium cardstock. That is what I had used before, and it cut out really nicely. So I'm going to place, sometimes the file, I don't know if you can see it or not. Can you see those lines there? It's like where a file folder would expand. I don't want that cut, so I'm going to use this side. But what I'm going to do is pull it over just enough that we're going to get a straight cut line. I've placed it on my mat. I don't want these fold lines to be part of my divider, but I've also got this. So I moved it over just far enough where I am right on the line. If you can see that, right on the line. But yet the edge of this is not off of my mat, because then it won't roll on. So I'm going to see if I can get you here. A weird angle. All right, we are going to start, and I'm just going to cut and cut and cut until I, uh-oh, nope, it came off. Nope, nope. My mat must be starting to just get unsticky enough. So I'm going to grab a different mat. I used that all day yesterday. So Let's see what happens with this. If not, I'll grab a brand new mat. Okay, it's detecting my tool, making sure I have the fine point blade in. And now it's going to cut. All right. So there's my little file folder. Now, with my last project, I had a lot more scrap, but that might come in handy for something. So I'm going to throw the rest of that away. And I'm going to keep doing exactly what I'm doing here. Now I've got my new file dividers all ready, and I'll show you that in a second. I've got my words all ready. And I wanted to show you how I actually made these pockets. I had a hard time finding anything that the taller stickers and the shorter stickers would fit into. Kind of like these. So I ended up making them myself out of page protectors. So what I did here was I took a page protector, just a regular one that you put in your notebook. I cut off the top evenly, all of them. And then once I knew the size of what I needed, I just took the page protector, folded it around backwards, and then used packing tape on it. So I had a folder the exact size I needed it. Now my containers are M Design, and I'm sure I bought those on Amazon somewhere. And these containers are just about 10 inches long, 5.75 inches wide, and 5 inches tall. And they are perfect for what we're doing here. So I'm going to take each one of these file folders, and I wanted mine to have all different colors, so I did a left, a right, and a center, and I did them in all different file folders that I didn't need anymore, ones that were used. So I'm going to put all my labels in order, and I'll replace these. And once again, the reason I'm replacing them is because I made them out of like cardstock before, and they tend to fall over. So this will be nice and stiff. It's more of like a cardboard. Well, not a cardboard. It's just a nice, heavier constructed sheet. So I think that'll work a lot better. So I'm going to do this real quick, and I'll show you them finished. So here they are all finished. Give you a little look right in here. The font is called Baby Child, and I want to say it was a DeFont font, so it was free. I just kind of like it. I made 1 or 2 extras just so if I get new stickers that are something I don't have, I can go ahead and label them. So try this one out. I think it'd be a fun project, and it'll get you organized. Come on with me, we're going to have some fun.